Dunk.
How we doing, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? Infail here with another wacky build. So the build itself is nothing new. It dates back to the LOD days, and it's called a Fuzzydodger. The only difference is I'm bringing in the new weapon, Odyssean's Awakening, to spice it up a little bit, shall we say. So I managed to slam one of these for 5 sockets, which is crazy. So I thought to myself, what can I do with it? I put it on a Whirlwind Barbarian, because obviously you can get really big mana through battle orders and other things. And it worked pretty well, but I still wasn't satisfied. So along the way, I figured, you know, it's going to be a really fast weapon, okay? So how do we cement in that speed? And what better way to do that than with Beast, you know, Caduceus, which I had to steal back off the melee sorcerers because it belongs on this mercenary. Anyway, so we've got Odyssean's Awakening, which gives you massive mana, as you can see, 637 based on character level, and I'm only level 85, right? So you get the anywhere between 28 and 30 energy shield, which is monster huge. So yeah, as you can see, that's what that weapon does if you're not familiar with it. Sorry, that way. Camera left, Dean. Yeah, so we based it around this. So the next piece is my diadem that I imbued. 2 dams and skills, stats, resistances through the roof, thanks to the 2 runes and resistance roll. I slammed curse resistance on it, and it puzzle pieced for 2. So all in all, I was just really in love with it. You could probably have way better, you know, gear slot here, but I loved it, so I wanted to use it. Same with the amulet, you can probably do better, but 2 skills, dex for damage, life, resistances, because there's no shield, you need some resistances, so that's where they come in. Same with the armor, you could probably do way better for armor too, but I needed Cannot Be Frozen, and I needed resistances, so I just thought of a quick way of getting that, which is Duriel Shell, a very underrated armor, so I upped it. Sadly only got 1 socket on it, but so yeah, not a particularly brilliant defense roll, being 1 off of anti-perf, but you get defense per character level, you get life per character level, Cannot Be Frozen to help cover that base, and then a bunch of resistances. So all in all, good armor, but you can do better. You can put something better in there. Again, I always have trash gear. I just found this and was like, I'm going to build something around it, and just threw some gear together, right? Silk Weaves for Rubbish Slam, as you can see, Cold Resist 19, Rubbish Slam, but for the increased max mana. Yeah, because you want to maximize this, because mana is your defense. Nature's Peace for the Oak Sage, just so you can get that little bit of extra life back, because owie. String of Ears for some damage reduction, life leech, all that good stuff. Bulkathos for some enhanced physical damage, PDR reduction there, things like that. Occultist for the massive increased maximum mana, because again, that's really going to help keeping you alive. Yeah, so a +3 passive and magic to help out with your skills, which we'll get to in a minute. Teleport Staff. Oh, sorry, no, that's the Amp Stick. If I can't kill something with lightning, or I can't kill it with physical without Amp, I'll quickly throw that on, even though it's super slow, with 2 shells in it, quickly hit until I get Amp, and then go, oh, finally, and then jump back to Odyssean's Awakening and stab him down. So yeah, that's my Amp Stick. On Switch, we have Call to Arms and Lidless, which I got back again off the melee sorcerers, so that you can buff up. And then down here, I've got a couple of passive skillers, not many because I didn't invest in them. Any passive skill charms I gave to my friends during the season, all rares. And then some max damagey boys. Again, they're not brilliant. You could all get better. Life and mana. So again, you get a bit of life boost and a bit of mana boost because mana is your life. Torch. Again, no Annie. Wish I had one. And then resistance because, and well, life. That one's great. 20 life, 14 mana for this build is fantastic. But yeah, resistance charms and life to make up for not having a shield. We'll do mercenary gear next. So he's carrying the Caduceus for me, just so I get the increased damage from it and stuff. but he's mostly just carrying it, bless him. I basically borrow it off of him, which, well, I'll show you that in a minute, to be honest. So he's carrying the Caduceus. He's also carrying my Defiance Aura. So, because he doesn't hit anymore, the Decrepify and Striking is useless, but he's basically giving me the Defiance Aura to give me some PDR and stuff. He's wearing a Steel Shade because they don't have a blocking animation, Act 3 Mercenary, so the blocking is useless. But the +2 skills helps his lightning spells, because he's a lightning mercenary. With the Atmas, it gives him fast hit recovery, cast rate, skills. Again, crappy slam, you want to have another skill point on there to help him out. Water Walks, cast rate belt, again nothing special, but strength to help him get Atmas on, because it's quite a weighty armor for strength, and the shield. And then lastly, some Mage Fists with a rubbish slam, just so he gets some fast cast rate. Again, you can probably get way better in these slots, no question. So he's there to provide some lightning damage. He's a lightning Act 3 mercenary. And then we'll move on to skills. So we get some critical strike, enough for it to benefit you and your Valks. You max Valk, so that they're your little allies to help you tank, even though you're a big bear, but I'll be crass for a second here, so kids cover your ears. Basically, you're the cock and they're your balls, yeah? You get 2 Valks, because you're not wearing peace. Run in and do devastation. Penetrate, so that you can massively reduce target's defense, but also so you get massive AR, so you get the hits. Enough dodge and evade, so that you can get some decent movement speed and some decent faster hit recovery. You know, put points in flavor to taste, yeah? I don't bother with decoy because you can't cast it when you're in bear form. The Valks you cast beforehand. They're surprisingly tanky, so I wouldn't worry about them dying. If they do, it sucks a little bit because you have to then grab that off the mercenary, turn back from a bear, and recast. I tend to find on certain bosses you have to do that, but after a boss fight you have to repair your weapons, sell the drops, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it happens then. If you lose a Valk, it's not a big deal. They're just there as an extra distraction. I would love to see slow movement and inner sight able to be cast in bear form, because they would really help this build. But you can't, so tough tittywinkles, unfortunately. Javelin skills, we've maxed Power Strike to help out with the Valks, because the Valks are not only tanks, but they're your lightning damage, because you've got a lot, you don't get a lot of lightning pierce, because I didn't have enough points for pierce, but they've got lightning damage, by using Power Strike, so they get 20% lightning damage per level. As you can see, nothing in the bow tree, of course. So just Power Strike and then passives, essentially. You're a passives on. So that's that covered. So let's do a bit of testy gameplay. Let's just poke stuff down just to get rid of it quickly. You know, as you can see, it's pretty damn fast, even if I was just a pokey stick. So we switch, and we bosh out some incredibly slow buffs in the form of that. Oh, and another thing, you can cast Battlecry in bear, as a lot of you may know. So you can just bam that out as a bear to help with bringing down enemies' defense and physical damage resistance. So that really helps to have that on switch. That's why it's there. As well as, of course, to buff. So we've got Oak Sage to help the life situation out. So Valk is level 31. So we'll do it on switch, of course, with Call to Arms and that. So we cast our 2 Valks. Technically, we could have 3 Valks in this scenario, but then as soon as you switch back, one of them's going to die in a minute. So then we take the Caduceus from your mercenary. As soon as you do that, yeah, one goes, as it is. So then we're going to slap out. We're not going to bother slapping out a bear. We could do that on the melee source, which I forgot in the previous video, but you can't with this because you're just using it to transform, and then you just have normal attack back on again. So then you give that back to the Merc to hold, and then that's what the team looks like. Your 2 Valks to help tank, your mercenary to lay down lightning, and you're there to do smacky smacks. So now with all the buffs from Oak Sage and from Battle Orders, we've now got a pretty respectable 1k life-ish, 1.2, but the mana tree, as you can see, is 1.4. Now, I'm not bothered about Blood Curse from Bale or from Succubi, because we're not using any mana in any way. We're just doing a normal attack as standard. And as you can see, well, you can't because it's work in progress, but I've calculated that to be roughly a 4 frame, yeah? How fast that is, that's insane, right? That's crazy fast, yeah? It's not the damage. You're probably thinking, oh, Dean, I was waiting for the big damage numbers. There isn't any, yeah, you're just incredibly fast. It's like 4, 8, 12, 16. And then you've done 16k damage by hitting really fast, yeah? Attack rating's a bit trash as well. But like I said, that's where that comes in. So we run in, we do that, and then bam, 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 bam. Like that. Look how quickly they went down. Yeah, that was insane. And if they managed to get a hit on you, you still got pretty respectable defense as a bear, of course. And this is your life pool. So we're going to run down here, because you're pretty fast. Sadly, again, we don't get any of the funky maul or, you know, feral rage or whatever you could get, sort of thing. Hunger. But yeah, smack, smack, smack. Like this. Super fast, super fast. You know, if something starts hurting you, like this, which it's not currently. Please give me an example of hurt. Never mind. Obviously, you can just pop mana potions, you know. Your life pool is keeping you alive there. So dangerous things are souls that rip your mana pool apart, succubi, will, you know, hit you from range. Like I said, these guys are just getting trashed, as you can see. It's a very fun build. Oh yes, you're just running along. Let's find something that maybe can hurt us. See, like, as you can see, the mana pool's going down big time. Do we pop a mana potion? Hasn't even really touched the life pool yet. You know? And that, obviously, that energy shield is unsynergized. It's just very, very high level. So, yeah, GG. And when I was buffing, I even forgot to put the passive amulet on, so I could have got the valves being slightly more powerful. Oh, here we go, here we go. See? Owie, owie, oh no, owie. You know, pop something. Whatever you need to do. There you go. Bam. They got smacked up. And there you go. Again, it's just a little fun build. Nothing crazy. And you're probably wondering through all of that, well, Dean, what's this Fuzzydodger thing you're talking about? Most people, when I said it on stream, when I was playing this character, showcasing it, they were like, what the hell are you talking about? So back in LOD, a Fuzzydodger was someone who had evade, a dodge, and avoid, back when that skill used to exist. So you would run around as a bear, just dodging the hell out of everything, and you were a bear, so you were fuzzy, so you were a Fuzzydodger. So basically, like I said, I'm taking a pre-existing build from LOD days, and I'm just seeing what happens with Odysseans. See that? We tanked that. They took off most of my mana pool, you know, because we can't block. So, you know, but mana is life. Essentially, we've got 2,600 life here, with no stress about blood curses from Bale and stuff like that, because, like I said, you don't have an attack that uses mana. It's great. So yeah, at the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to stop talking now, because you get the gist, right? It's just a fun build. You run around super fast, because of, like I said, I've got enough skills, as I was saying, two there, just skills everywhere, and then that increases your evade quite heavily. As you can see, I've got 49% movement speed, as well as 30 from silk weaves and that, so you can get around pretty fast, yeah? And on days that you're desperate, you could have a teleport staff there. Like I said, I've got the amp stick, which is a hell of a lot slower, as you can see. And if you're a little rich boy, you could have a 5-socketed Reaper's Toll there with 5 shell runes in it, quickly put it on, smack, 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 fast still, proc the amp, and then go back to Odysseans for the energy defense. I mean, hell, you don't even have to use Odysseans. It was just a way of getting this new weapon in the game so that people can see it. And what better way to do it than with a crazy build? So there you have it. If you liked it, you know, let me know in the comment section, and hopefully it'll inspire you to make some wacky stuff too. And yeah, enjoy.